Hola, hola, soy yo Vicky otra vez. And en el video de hoy vamos a mirar parte 4 del examen de GCSE. So in today's video we're going to look at part 4. I believe it's part 4. Yes, I think so. Oh no, it's part 5. If you've been doing the GCSE test to see if you think you could pass a GCSE in Spanish, in today's video we're going to look at part 5, parte 5, que es una combinación de 4 cosas. It's a combination of 4 things. So there were 4 small things, if you like, or small exercises. So I'll put the 4 together and we'll do it all in one video. Okay, and these things are all explained in my books or on another video, so if these are things that you're not too sure about, that if it transpires as you do this test or these tests, that you're not too sure about these things, you can look them up in the books, or I will put the link to the video, the appropriate video that's already on my channel, in the description box, so that you can refresh yourself on these things. Okay, so the first thing we're going to look at is the personal A. Now, obviously, in the GCSE, they must expect you to have knowledge of this. Do you know what the personal A is in Spanish? Well, basically, this is explained in my Level 1 book, on page 53 of Break the Language Barrier Level 1, available on all Amazon sites, or you can order it through me, order it through the website, whichever you prefer. And if you order it through me, it is free postage. It will be posted free, so it's €15 if you order it through me, or through the website, or through the Facebook page, or just send me a message and we can sort it out. It's €15. On Amazon, the price tends to vary because Amazon's it depends which Amazon site you're using, because it might be in dollars, it might be in euros, it might be in pounds. But the price is set at €15, but how it comes up in your district, I don't have any control over. But anyway, it's available on all Amazon sites, and the personal A is explained in one of the top tips on page 53. Okay, so basically, it's very simple, really. Any verb that you use, any doing word, any action word that you use that applies to a person, in Spanish you put in an a. And it's called the personal A. It's because this action is being done to a person. We don't use it if the same action is being done to an object or a thing. So let's look at some examples. So if I say I am waiting for the bus, a bus is a thing, not a person, so I don't need the personal A. I would just say espero el autobús. But if I am saying I am waiting for Maria, Maria is a person, so I will say espero a Maria. So it's got no extra meaning. We've got no equivalent in English. It's just an idiosyncrasy, if you like, of Spanish, that obviously in the GCSE, because this test, if you're coming into these videos for the first time, this test is a genuine test for a GCSE, to prepare for a GCSE. So they obviously expect you to know and use properly the personal A if you want to pass a GCSE with a really good mark. So what I'm going to do, those of you who've seen these videos before, you'll know what I'm going to do. I'm going to hold up the English. First of all, you need a pen and a pad. If you haven't got a pen and a pad, you need to stop the video and get one, or just stop the video and do it off that. But I think you need to write down in Spanish these sentences. So in English, the sentences you will be translating are: I saw my mother, I saw the match, I have a friend. I am looking for a doctor. I saw the dog in the kitchen. Now, I think you can gather from this that you need to know how to say I saw to do your GCSE in Spanish. Obviously, preterite of the verb ver, to see, obviously is one of those that they expect you to know quite well because it comes up quite often. Okay, so pause the video, write those down, and when I'm now going to turn over to the Spanish. So let's see how you did. So I saw my mother. Vi a mi madre. So I saw my mother. My mother is a person, so I need to put in the personal A. Now you could there as well say yo vi a mi madre. Whereas number 2, vi el partido. Partido is a match. Is not a person, so we don't need the personal A at all. Vi el partido. Now, número 3, tengo un amigo. Now, although amigo is a person, so you might have been a bit tricked there and put in the personal A, but I have a friend. You're not performing an action on, like if you were saying, I told my friend, or I saw my friend, or I visited my friend. All those you would need the a. But tengo un amigo is not a verb of action against someone. You just, I have a friend. So you don't need it there. Número 4, I'm looking for a doctor. Busco, I am looking for, or you could say estoy buscando. So there's 2 ways you could say that. Busco or estoy buscando a un médico, because of course doctor is a person. So you will put in the a. You will not put in for. Busco is to look for. I am looking for. The for is in there, so you wouldn't say busco para un médico or busco por. No, just busco a un médico. And then back to the I saw again, as I say, very popular. Vi el perro en la cocina. I saw the dog in the kitchen. So a dog is not a person. However, if you're talking about, if you were saying, talking about, see, this is just the dog, so it could be any dog, really. Well, not any dog, but we're not naming it. If you were saying, like my dog, one of my dogs is called Rocky, so if I was saying I saw Rocky in the kitchen, I would use a personal A because I have a personal relationship with that dog. So it's vi a Rocky en la cocina. So that's different when it's I'm going to put it like a dog that's named a pet dog specifically, not just, anybody's dog. Okay, comprendes? How did you do? Did you get them all right? Okay, so what we're going to look at now, the second part of this part 5, are demonstrative adjectives and pronouns. Don't let that frighten you. What is a this is what I call this, that, and the other, because it's demonstrative adjectives and pronouns are how you talk about this house, that car, that man over there, etc. So that's basically what they are. That's an adjective. A demonstrative adjective is when you're like saying this house, that car, etc. When you're describing the noun. A pronoun, of course, replaces a noun. So that's when you say this one. So like if I was to say, this car is nice, but that one is nicer. Then I'm using a pronoun. That one is a pronoun. Again, this is, I'll put the link to the video that this is all explained in on my channel, and it is also explained in my level 3 book, Break the Language Barrier level 3, on page 30. Página 30. All those are explained, demonstrative adjectives and pronouns, with exercises to practice and the answers in the back. So if you don't already have it, again, you can buy it on any Amazon site or through me, whichever you prefer. Okay, so these are the English. So again, you need to stop the video, write down the English that you have to translate. I'll read them out as well as hold it up. Number 1, I saw this book in this room. Number 2, I saw that book in that room. Number 3, I saw these books in these rooms. Number 4, I saw those books in those rooms. Okay, so there's your English. Stop the video, do your answers, and then here I am now. It's like Blue Peter, isn't it, or whatever it was. Here's one I prepared earlier. Okay, so numero uno. It's back to the I saw again. I definitely want you to know this. So if nothing else that you learn when you go for your GCSE, make sure that you know how to say I saw. Vi este libro en esta habitación. So este is masculine because libro is masculine, but room is feminine, habitación. Remember that any word that ends in cion is feminine in Spanish. So, vi este libro en esta habitación. Número 2. Vi ese o aquel. So what's the difference between ese and aquel? They both mean that. Ese, so this, that, and the other, as I call them. This is always used to talk about something close to hand, isn't it? That is a little bit further away. So this book, that book. And then in English, we don't have another word. But in Spanish, they have aquel, which is even further distant away. So I always call it that one over there, that book over there. So you've got este libro, this book, ese libro, that book, aquel libro, that book over there, más o menos. So for the purpose of these exercises, where it says that, you could use either. So vi ese o aquel libro en esa o aquella, the feminine, habitación. Número 3. Vi estos libros en estas habitaciones, plurals. Y número 4. Vi esos o aquellos libros en esas o aquellas habitaciones. Okay, how did you do? How are you doing? Okay, now what we're going on to now are possessive adjectives. Again, these are all long words, aren't they? Sometimes people will hear sort of words and I think, oh my God, possessive adjective, it's too scary. But really, basically, all a possessive adjective is describes who something belongs to. So, my house, your car, his chair, their money, etc. That's what possessive adjectives are. And this is explained fully again, I think, yeah, my level 3 book on page 35 of Break the Language Barrier level 3. That's where you'll find all the possessive adjectives explained, and I will put the video down in the description as well if you want to watch that specific video. These are the, well, not really sentences, I suppose they are sentences, but these are what the GCSE test expects you to know, or it says that you should know to be able to do your GCSE successfully. So we've got my chair, my chairs, your sister, your sisters, his dog, her dog, his dogs, her dogs. Our house, our friends, your book, your books, their friend, their friends. Okay, so They're the things you've got to translate. So let's see how you do. I'm going to go on to the Spanish now. Okay, so my chair, mi silla. Whereas my chairs is mis sillas. So notice that when they go plural, it doesn't depend on how many people it belongs to. It's still me, just one person. But it's how many objects there are. Mis, it's plural, it's mis because it's sillas. Okay, and tu hermana, your sister. But tus hermanas, if you're saying your sisters. So yeah, tu becomes tus, and even though you're still only one person, it's because now there's more than one sister. Su perro and su perro, so his and her are exactly the same. So tricky because there is no difference between his or her in Spanish. So we would only know from the conversation, you know, or we might have to clarify. Like if you were talking to someone, they just said, oh, es su perro, and you weren't clear who they were talking about, you might have to clarify that. And then, so they're the same with dogs, plural, sus perros and sus perros, his dogs and her dogs. Número 9, nuestra casa. Our is nuestro or nuestra, masculine, feminine, and it not depending on if we're masculine or feminine, but because casa is feminine. Yeah, and then plural, nuestras casas, because casas is houses. So it's not because there's two of us, it's because there's more than one house. So your book, tu libro, your books, tus libros. And I just want to point out there that if it was the plural you, it would be vuestro libro. And your books, as in belonging to all of you, more than one of you, vuestros libros. Again, that's explained on my video or in the book if you're not sure about that. And vuestro has to go feminine, like nuestro goes to nuestra. Okay, then we've got su amigo and sus amigos. So, as if Sue wasn't, this somewhat one of my students said to me once, that Sue she gets everywhere, and it's true because Sue can be his, can be her, and can also be their, belonging to them. So we've got three things that we might mean when we say su amigo could be his friend, her friend, or their friend. So we've got to be aware of this. That's one of those times we might need clarification. And sus amigos, their friends. How did you do? I mean, with all these, I would have a go at doing it without looking first. Then, before you check the answers, check it or, you know, or not. I mean, just go for it. I mean, it's always, don't be frightened of getting things wrong. That's how you learn how to get things right. So, yeah, personally, my own personal opinion or advice would be do these, just try and do them as best you can. Then if you've got them wrong, you've got them wrong, but then do them again in a couple of weeks and then see if you remember them. That's the thing, it's you will get them wrong. That's how you learn how to get them right. Okay, now possessive pronouns again are on the same in level 3 break the language barrier on page 35. What's the difference between a possessive adjective and a possessive pronoun? Well, you know, adjectives describe things. Pronouns replace things or nouns. So, yeah, that's perhaps a better way. An adjective describes a noun and a pronoun replaces a noun. So when we were doing the adjective, it was like when it was, it's my book. I'm describing that book, it's my book. A pronoun is when then you go on to say, it's mine. So you're not mentioning the book in there. It's replacing the noun. So that's my book, it's mine. My book is the possessive adjective, mine is the pronoun. Okay, or it's your book, it's yours. Or it's his book, it's his, which actually doesn't change in English. So, again, as I say, page 35, break the language barrier level 3. So I'll explain there the new, the updated version of level 3. I don't think it's in the old version of level 3. I don't think so. Okay, so here's your English sentences to write down or translate, pause the video and translate them from the photo. Number 1, your friend and mine. Number 2, my friend and yours. Number 3, your friend and ours. And number 4, my friend and theirs. Okay, so those are the sentences. And now I'm going to read the Spanish. So, number 1, tu amigo y el mío. Now the L is optional. So you can say tu amigo y el mío or tu amigo y mío. Mi amigo y el tuyo or just tuyo. That's my friend and yours. Mi amigo y tuyo or mi amigo y el tuyo. Then your friend and ours, tu amigo y nuestro, or tu amigo y el nuestro. And then mi amigo y el suyo is my friend and, well, it could be my friend and his, my friend and hers, or my friend and theirs. But anyway, so again, the L is optional. I've forgotten to put the brackets on there, but the L is optional. So mi amigo y suyo or mi amigo y el suyo. Okay, so yeah, as I say, keep doing those until you know them all off by heart. If you don't have the Break the Language Barrier books already, why not? No, but so I'm told they're very useful for learning Spanish at home. You know, you've got lots of translations, lots of examples, and you've got the answers included, and a YouTube video to back up all of the exercises in there. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this video or at least found it useful. I hope your GCSE level is good or it's helping you to improve. Maybe these tests are just showing you where you need some attention with your Spanish, and as we know, it's an ongoing story, learning Spanish. It never finishes. You have to keep practicing, repeating. And please, if you have found it useful, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe, because that's a free way you can help me out. If you'd like to support my channel, you can buy me a coffee. That'll be in the comments. Okay, muchas gracias.